Alright, what's up guys? So, Hot T, she has uploaded a video titled The Fight Gabbie Hanna Tried to Hide From You, Trisha Paytas versus Gabbie Hanna. But no, first things first, I want to congratulate Hot T, aka my good friend Ray, for hitting 150,000 subscribers on YouTube. It's, that's a far, like, at least for me, it's a far away milestone. But it's like to reach that milestone, it's like to reach any milestone on YouTube, it's always good. So I just wanted to take the time to congratulate her real quick. It's like she's always putting in work with her videos and stuff, and just overall, just her as a person and things. She's always been killing it and stuff. So anyways, let's go ahead and get into this video. But yeah, guys, make sure you do that. First things first, go subscribe to the Hot Tea channel, and make sure you subscribe to Ray's personal channel, Ray Rahimi, and her business channel, Build Your Pocket. I'm pretty sure her channels is linked in the description. Oh, it's not. Okay, well, never mind. But yeah, it's, y'all can, Build Your Pocket and Ray Rahimi, okay? But anyways, let's go ahead and get into this video. I'm pretty sure you could go to one of her videos and find it, but yeah, Gabbie Hanna versus Trisha Paytas. Let's see how this goes down. Two very controversial YouTubers, especially now.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Boy, do we have tea today. Literally less than 25 minutes ago, Gabbie Hanna posted a video called The Fight I Tried to Hide From You, Trisha Paytas versus Gabbie Hanna, and I'm here to give you a quick recap. But before we get into it, make sure to subscribe to this channel, turn your post notifications on, and give this video a thumbs up. Alright, let's get into it. So this video is a big clip that Gabbie Hanna took out of her original podcast episode with Trisha Paytas. Gabbie has spoken about the existence of this fight on multiple occasions, but she's never actually shown the clip until now. Gabbie says that despite the fact that she took this clip out of the published podcast, Trisha still keeps talking about how Gabbie edited the podcast to make Trisha look bad. Gabbie said, for almost 2 years, Trisha has been dedicated to telling the world we've never met, we were never friends, and that she never even watched any of my videos. She successfully convinced millions that I'm a delusional, dangerous, obsessed stalker who imagined a years-long friendship with her. Gabbie shows screenshots of these texts between Gabbie and Trisha. Trisha says that she was begging Gabbie to stop texting her, which, as you can see from the texts, that's not what she was doing. Trisha was the one saying rude and nasty things like, there's a reason why no one likes you, and then asking Gabbie to stop texting them. Trisha, that's not how it works, boo. You can't just say what you want and then not let the other person speak as well, and then blame them for wanting to have the same chance to speak their mind, By the way, I don't necessarily love either of these people, so throughout this fight, I'm going to be making a lot of sassy commentary, probably targeted at both of them, and I don't want to see a single, oh my god, you're so biased comment. I am tired of seeing those. I hate both of these bitches, okay? Although, guys, it is worth mentioning that I'm making this commentary based off of a video that Gabbie posted, so if there were parts of the video that made Gabbie look bad, we wouldn't know. We don't get to see it, so it is kind of one-sided, but like, I have no control over that, There's nothing I can do but comment on this one video. Unless Trisha wants to come out with a response video or something. Or 40, because that's what Trisha does. I am now just realizing that that did not make sense. But basically, that was exactly the point that Gabbie brought up. She was just like, I don't think that's very fair of you to not let me speak.
You were able to say whatever you wanted, and then when I responded, the response was like, you're harassing me. It's like, so you can make this accusation.
Trisha calls Gabbie paranoid because this one time, Gabbie asked Trisha for their address so she can send Trisha her poetry book. Trisha ignores Gabbie's text, but then proceeds to post this vlog.
Joey sent me this awesome package. I don't, like, when people ask me for my address, like, I never give people my address. Well, obviously he knows mine because obviously he's been here, but like other YouTubers, if I'm not close with or I'm not your friend, like, I'm not about to like give you just, what's your address? I can send you a book so you can promote me. No.
Trisha defends themselves by saying that the clip was not about Gabbie, citing various other YouTubers who've come out with books, which isn't an amazing defense.
Gabbie, it's so paranoid, and not know what you think these are about you.
But my type.
I don't believe that for a second, because what are the odds that in this exact point in time, all these other YouTubers were asking for Trisha's address that Trisha didn't want to send their address to? Also, considering the fact that Trisha literally ignored Gabbie's text, like, what the fuck, Trish? Just admit that it was about Gabbie. There's nothing wrong with that, and then we can all move on.
I think you just put way too
She doesn't want to be wrong in this situation, so she's like, oh, anything to, make my... Because what? So she was getting on her about, like, editing the podcast or video, whatever it was, because, she felt like they was making her look bad or whatever, and it's like, you already make yourself look bad by just, you being yourself. Like, not to be rude, not to be, too blunt, but I'm saying, like, I don't know how blunt I can be, like,
into what other people think about you, especially someone that you didn't met. We met once at my birthday party to that point.
Gabbie shows these texts, which show that she clearly never explicitly straight out assumed the video was about her. She was literally just like, I don't know if that was towards me or not, but as someone who asked for your address so I could send you a book and you didn't give it to me, you can see why I might think that. Anyway, just wanted to make sure you didn't think I was trying to get you to promote my book. Trisha replies saying, literally not about you, that doesn't make any sense since we talk and I know you. I also don't question anyone's following because I could care less about followers and how many people have. I think you meant that you couldn't care less because if you say you could care less, it means you care a little. If you know that reference, by the way, comment down below. I love you and we're best friends. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. Trisha is such a fake bitch. Like, time and time again, people have come out after another exposing Trisha for being this weirdly two-faced person who would pretend they're your best friend one second and then completely ignore you the other second. Remember Nico got avocado? Same exact story. Side note, I also get similar vibes from TMossBoss, but that's unrelated. But just like, I'm so pissed right now because this is literally my least favorite kind of person, to just pretend to be your BFF and then talk about you behind your back. Actually, why? What could you possibly be gaining by doing that? Trisha says Gabbie is consumed with how Trisha talks about her and she's so consumed by Trish. Trisha says there was no reason for Gabbie to assume that the vlog was about her. Here's another example of how Trisha has this weird selective memory thing where they just warp every story in their head to fit their own narrative. In this clip, Gabbie and Trisha are talking about this one time when they met each other at a party and Trisha talked shit about Gabbie to Shane and then talked shit about Ricky to Gabbie. There's literal proof on the internet of all of this happening. However, here's Trisha's take on it.
I know. And
I did not talk to anybody at that party.
Like, you and I walked out, and then like afterwards, like you went on this podcast to be like, yeah, everybody treated me there like shit, and then like Shane hit me up afterward to tell me specifically what you said about me and Ricky specifically.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck?
Gabbie says that that was the party that their communication ended, and Trisha would then go online and talk about how she hates YouTubers at parties and so on. Trisha keeps talking about how Gabbie cares way too much about what others think about her, which is 100% true in my opinion, don't get me wrong, but I also think that Trisha is extremely insecure about fitting in at social situations to the point where if everyone's not constantly giving them attention and being overly friendly, Trisha thinks that they're the devil and that everyone hates Trisha and all of that. But then Gabbie posts this update saying, I was wrong about this. After this party, she stopped responding to me. She posted a vlog where she exposed a private relationship and I messaged her to remove it. She apologized to me for the vlog, then apologized for not responding. She said she felt like I hated her. So this is Trisha's apology text being like, sorry about the vlog, I honestly didn't even think about it. And sorry for lack of response, I honestly feel like every time I see you, you like hate me. Wait, now I'm confused. Because, like, in this very podcast, Trisha keeps talking about how the vlog wasn't about Gabbie, but in these texts, they're saying otherwise. I don't know, man. I was confused because I felt like I didn't know Trisha well enough.
I guess maybe she's doing that because of the whole, like, paranoid argument. And she's just like, oh, it's just, you're paranoid. Because, people do stuff like that where it's just like, all right, like, even though, like, we all know that it was about her and stuff. I mean, like, I just, my thing is, like, I see things like this happen a lot. So, at the end of the day, it's like, you could say it wasn't, but it's like, who else be asking for your address? Like, honestly, that would have been my question. It's like, who else outside of me asked for your address and stuff? So, yeah, I do think that there is some, like, Trisha Paytas hate going towards Gabbie Hanna. And it's probably all because of that Jason Nash situation. But it's like, hey, yo, like, stop just trying to, like, hide from, like, what you're really feeling and things. Like, I feel like that's the one thing where a person can feel really good about themselves is when they just come out and say what's on their mind. You say what's on your mind, it can be hurtful. It probably won't be as hurtful. But yeah, I just feel like when people just know the truth and then you come out and say the truth, I feel like things can go so much better. But anyways.
At this point for her to say I hated her, I had only met her briefly 3 times. I was also irritated that she kept telling people that Ricky Dill and I were rude to her and confused because she was the one ignoring my messages after the party. Literally a week or 2 after, they started talking again. Trisha apologizes for being rude or bratty, saying, I know you're like over it, but I wanted to apologize again if I came off bratty or rude last week. You've always been really kind to me and reach out when I make upsetting videos, and really no one else has. So just for the record, I 100% value our friendship, even if we never see each other. So guys, keep this in mind, okay? Keep this in mind. Trisha is saying that she values Gabbie's friendship. I'm telling you guys, this is a very important fact. Please remember that Trisha not only acknowledges Gabbie's friendship, but she also says that she values it, okay? Remember that. Gabbie says, "This is where I would say our friendship actually started, for me, not ended. We shared a lot about family issues, relationships, breakups, body image, friendships, loneliness, mental health, and life. She stopped responding to me in October 2017 when I confronted her about the book comment. That is when our friendship ended." Back to Trisha on the podcast. Gabbie brings up this clip from Shane's podcast with Trisha on it, where Trisha was implicitly speaking about Gabbie.
You know who you are if you're watching this. I'm sure they are because they're my biggest fans, but they treat me like shit in public. Hate you.
Who else could that possibly be about? Again, in the exact
Her best
time that
friend.
the party thing happened with Gabbie and Ricky, clearly Trisha was talking about Gabbie because Gabbie would text Trish about how much she likes her stuff. However, here's Trisha's side.
I never use the word fans about anybody, ever. Not even the people who support me. I hate the word
You said
fans.
it in the video.
Okay, oh my god.
Let's hear that one more time.
Because they're my biggest fans, but they treat me like shit in public.
You're telling me that something that I know in my brain and that no, you did say that. I don't know how to respond to that. Okay, I said it. I don't know what else I didn't.
I'm sure they are because they're my biggest fans, but they treat me like shit in public.
I don't refer to anyone as my fans. I don't
where-
refer to supporters as fans. Like, it's creepy.
I'm sure they are because they're my biggest fans, but they treat me like shit in public.
It's cringy when people say I have fans. Like, it's
Because they're my biggest fans.
gross. Like, I don't say those words.
Because they're my biggest fans.
What?
Moving on, Trisha brings up the elephant in the room, the thing. Quick backstory, if you haven't watched one of the 50 videos I've brought this up in, a couple years back, Gabbie told Trisha's then boyfriend Jason Nash to be careful because she's heard rumors that Trisha might have herpes. Which, by the way, these rumors were later found out to have started from Shane freaking Dawson. Yes, the same Shane Dawson that was like best friends with Trisha at the time. I swear, everyone's a freaking snake in this world. Who are these people? Gabbie repeats the same defense she's been repeating for years, that she never cared if Trisha had herpes. She never made it public. She just called it a rumor to Jason, which it was. It was just a heads up to a friend. Regardless of whether she did the right thing or not, Gabbie still apologized for the herpes situation in public to Trisha. Yet another confusing scene. Trisha at some point tweeted, "Every time me and the Gabbie show are together, we never get selfies and it makes me extremely depressed." But then Trisha says here that they and Gabbie have never hung out. So like, seriously Trisha, stick to one story. Which is it?
We've never hung out. We've
Why did
never
you
hung
tweet
out.
that then?
Gabby, please just bring it up right now. Like, I can't do this anymore. This is like insane. This is so insane. Like, when did we hang out? I met you like for minutes at a party. We never hung out.
Then why the fuck did you say that you get sad because every time you hang out with Gabbie, you don't take a selfie with her? Like, you literally don't make sense. There's also mild hypocrisy on Gabbie's part. Here she says that she did not come armed with receipts because she had no intention of confronting Trisha, but then she starts reading all of these receipts, so I guess she did want to confront Trisha.
On November 22nd, 2016, buying a VIP ticket to your show. Yes, yes, yes. November 19th, 2016, my obsession with the Gabbie show has been so unreal. I don't even understand. She's the most amazing thing on YouTube right now. 10th, 2017, every time me and the Gabbie show are together, we never get selfies. It makes me extremely depressed.
But here's
It's
Trisha.
funny, like, if I were to watch these videos without Ray's like commentary and stuff, that's honestly what I would hear. It's just, you know, the fast forward talking. That's why I'm like, I had to like find a reason, because when I hear about these things, I'm like, man, I'm too lazy to sit down and try to watch these videos and dissect what's going on. So that's why I'm like, I value I value Ray Ramy. Never hung out with her, but I'm like, hey, but it's true, like, jokes aside, though, like, nah, I honestly do value these videos. Like, I appreciate them, because I'm like, without these videos, I feel like that if there's going to be a day where I'm hanging out with somebody, and then we get to talking about YouTube, and then they're going to be like, what about this, like, Gabbie Hanna and Trisha Paytas stuff? I'm like, oh, man, it is crazy, like, yeah, I'm like, and I'm gonna just flat out tell them, like, yep, it's all thanks to my friend Ray. If it wasn't for her, I would not know nothing about these situations that's going down. So, but anyways,
Trisha's response to Gabbie exposing Trisha.
We hung out one time at that point. That was baseline nice, and this was before everything. This is when I was like
You're
at my
tweeting
party.
publicly because we're having public.
Because at this point, there was no issue. We had no issue. And I was like, you know, this is a girl that's nice to meet. You're nice to me. I was always being nice to you. We were never
And
like...
I was always nice to you.
Gabbie says that as a result of all of these like really sweet tweets and texts that Trisha would write, she really did think that she and Trisha were friends, like at the minimum. And here's Trisha's response to that.
This is a delusion.
Wow, just the thing someone wants to hear when you say you think they're friends.
wow.
This is a delusion. This is a delusion. Delusion.
we had a lot of talks, Trish.
Okay.
Like,
Okay, Gabbie. I don't know what else
and
to
then
say.
remember when you like exposed our relationship online and I asked you to delete it and then you deleted it?
Yeah, it's like there's a difference between not knowing what to say and then you just not wanting to admit to something. My thing is this: you guys have had some sort of like relationship to where if y'all is like talking, my thing is this: I'm not going to be talking to a person I don't consider a friend. You know, like if I'm not friends with that person, yeah, it's like, you know, you could be friends on social media, you could follow each other on social media or whatever. That doesn't necessarily mean that I'm friends with them. Like, I haven't even had no conversation. There's people that I am friends with till this day where I'm like friends, but like following them, social media, all of that. Where, oh yeah, I just, you know, I know them from social media, but outside of that, I don't know anything about them and stuff. It's people that I'm friends with, I don't know how to pronounce their names. So I'm like, I just, you know, my thing is this. I'm like, the day we have a conversation, the day we're talking about whatever, and if we go on, like, for talking a long period of times, or even if we're, like, tweeting out stuff, like, towards each other or liking each other's posts or whatever, it's like something is there. Some sort of chemistry is there. You're just not gonna, my thing is this, you ain't gonna make tweets about a person like in positive ways and text the person and all that other stuff and say that, oh, it's a delusion, you know, like that type of stuff where I'm like, hey, yo, I wouldn't even want to be friends with you if this is how you carry on and stuff. So
Exposed our relationship, like.
What relationship?
This is so classic Trisha. I'm getting
It's
mad
crazy.
right now. Like, for no reason. I hate how
maybe
she
it's
just...
that split personality thing she was trying to go on. Like, yeah, Trisha Paytas isn't friends with Gabbie Hanna, but Trisha Paytas is probably friends with her and stuff. So we never sat down and thought about that. You know, so yeah, there we go. I solved it. Trisha Paytas is friends with Gabbie Hanna, but not Trisha Paytas.
acts dumb every time she looks like a bitch. We all know you at this point.
If you think we had this friendship, okay. I don't know what else to say to you.
She's such a mean person. Like,
Yeah,
genuinely not a
that's
nice
crazy.
person. Not gonna lie, Gabbie is carrying herself quite well here, but it might also
I'm
be
like, and I think if I was in a situation like this where if a person, they didn't know whether we were friends or not, I'm like, do you want to be friends? Like, because my thing is like, for one, I don't know if this is like Gabbie's house or studio or whatever, but it's like, regardless, I'm not going to be in this person's like place of business, house, studio, whatever, and being that disrespectful and things. Like, I just feel like that there's just, you know, certain lines that you just don't cross with people, and that's one of them, where it's like you trying to have it where you making it seem like that this person's mental, and it's like, in a situation like this, Gabbie is not mental, but I just think that it's like, you know, her trying to be cool with somebody like Trisha, it's like, yeah, I have to say that's probably the only like crazy thing about it. It's like that. So I'm like, yeah, I overall would try to find like a better friend. If you think that you friends with Trisha Paytas, it's like, find yourself a better
the
friend.
fact that it's her podcast and her set and her crew is there, and Trisha's in a much more uncomfortable situation, so she's not coming off as well.
I'm not mad. I mean, if that is your reality, it can be your reality. Like, I literally, like, it's fine.
That's also what you kept telling Ethan before you stormed off Frenemies and quit
No, I was about to say she's gonna storm. I was thinking that earlier. I was like, watch, you guys better leave her alone before she storm off this
And I
podcast.
don't just mean mad as in angry.
It's one thing to say like it didn't mean the same thing to me as it did to you.
Mhm.
It's another to say it didn't happen.
Okay.
And that's where I'm just like I don't want to like argue about it.
I
Because-
respect what you think about it, Gabbie. I'm not gonna like change.
But like that is gaslighting.
You see, Trisha has nothing to do but act like Gabbie's the crazy one here by saying okay in that condescending tone. And as much as I hate to use this overused word, it really is gaslighting.
Gabbie, I respect it. I'm not gonna argue
But
about
I'll happily show you.
it. Okay.
Yeah.
I respect whatever you think.
But that's gaslighting. I'm glad
Gabbie!
I'm glad you think that, but it's not real.
I'm respecting you where I'm not going to be like, that actually is crazy. That's disrespectful. I'm literally trying to respect you right now and not feeding into anymore, not arguing, because we're clearly not agreeing on this. And me saying I respect you, like I'm not going to disrespect you in your house, it's not gaslighting.
But Trisha, you are disagreeing with facts. Like, you
Yeah.
can't just do that. The
Yeah.
fact is that Gabbie and you would speak. And whether you like to admit it or not, the fact is that you and Gabbie were friends. Whether you were real friends or not is a whole other question, but on the surface, you were friends. Or at least
Fake
you
friends.
made...
That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, maybe she was just all like, she overall just, I don't know, she just didn't want to be put on the spot where she wanted to be associated as like, because she probably, my thing is this, imagine the conversations that Trisha Paytas is having with people, you know, when Gabbie Hanna wasn't around. Imagine like how like mad disrespectful that she was being, and then it's like for her to be on this like podcast show, whatever, and then be like, oh yeah, we were friends, yeah, we were cool and stuff, and it's like she doesn't know how to respond to the facts, but it's there and things. So it's like, regardless of whoever you was talking to about how you feel or how you don't feel about Gabbie Hanna, it's like, now they know. It's like, oh, so wait a minute, they was talking. So now them same friends that you probably was talking all badly to Gabbie, talking about Gabbie Hanna and stuff, it's like, now they probably all like, wait a minute, she's probably doing the same thing with me. So it's like, at the end of the day, it's just, you know, you dug this hole for yourself.
Made it seem that way to Gabbie. So yes, it definitely is very much gaslighting to make Gabbie think that this is all in her head.
I could like,
But like to tell me those texts don't exist.
show it literally right now. Like I will not continue to show it right now that I sent you my poetry. And then I invited you to Thanksgiving.
Like, that's like a very specific thing. Like we talked for like years.
Not only is Trisha mean, but she's also kind of stupid. Like,
Yeah.
I know I sound like the mean one right now, but she actually reminds me of my stupid, crazy, racist, psycho ex-roommate, who I have 3 storytime videos about, by the way, if you want to check those out on my personal channel. But yeah,
Good
Trisha keeps
videos,
going
good
around in
videos.
circles and making no argument whatsoever. Gabbie
That
says she
roommate was
never wanted
wild.
this podcast to go this way, and she's probably going to cut this part out because she genuinely wants to be in a good place with Trisha, and then asks Trish if she thinks that would ever be possible. Trisha replies,
Don't know, because I truly think one of us is delusional. I'm not gaslighting. Maybe I am the delusional one in this, and like that's totally fine. I will chalk it up to me being just honest.
Yeah, it's people like her. I'm like, I don't want to be friends with you anyways. It's I've dealt with people like her, like, you know, internet and outside the internet, where it's like, you can bring up some actual factuals, and they're like, what are you talking about? What do you mean? Like, what do you? And it's people like that where I'm like, hey, yo, stop it. Like, don't do that with me. Please don't do that with me, because I will roast you. And I will not hold back. I will take the gloves off and roast you, all right? So I'm just saying, please, just, you know, at the end of the day, don't do stuff like that.
I don't think you're
Either be real about it or continue being fake about it. But regardless, it's like, don't do things like this.
I don't think that's it at all. You don't remember because it didn't matter to you.
At this point, Gabbie proposes to take a big break so they can cool down and pick up on a brighter note so no one would have to know about this fight. The mood was much better after the break, and they ended off the podcast on a positive note.
That was good. That was a good note to end it on.
Yeah, same. That's like I wanted it to end.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just like
Hopefully that gets the
positivity, like
Mhm.
yes, nothing else matters.
Yes.
But then Trisha goes home and immediately starts talking shit about Gabbie again, so again, you never know with this bitch. Side note, Gabbie was very sane here. What happened? Like, genuinely, I'm concerned for her. Now let's read some comments, because there were some good ones. Trisha calls Gabbie crazy 100 times. Then she says she's not gaslighting. Trisha has that nervous laugh when she's pissed off. Trisha,
Yeah.
it must be a delusion. Also, Trish, I'm not gonna call you crazy in your home. Not crazy, just delusional. I don't know. It's like everyone waited for Frenemies to be over. You know what's ironic is that when Frenemies was still on, every time someone would call out Trisha Paytas for whatever behavior, everyone would like bash on that person, being like, you just want to be mentioned on Frenemies. And now everyone's like, oh, you just waited for Frenemies to be over. You know what I mean? Like, it's just funny.
Yeah.
And Jesus Christ himself commented, Trisha asked for the receipts, Gabbie delivered. And to end
Yay.
things off, here are some TikToks that Gabbie made on the situation.
The issue is that she told the internet that I'm a delusional, dangerous stalker who she's never met, and that I imagined a year friendship. I just want her to leave me alone, but she will not stop talking about me.
Vibes I've got, especially off that party. I was like, okay, I mean,
Tell you
we
one
were
thing,
the only
that
one and
phone,
Ricky are the
Spider-Man
only two that I
definitely
actually,
got that
talk
phone.
and have like a relationship with. So I thought I would just, you know what I mean? Like I just feel like when I'm at parties and I have like a relationship with somebody, like a previous that was like, you know, I don't know. I mean, I felt like I tried, and I guess you felt like you tried. So I don't know. We're just at a moot point, which it really doesn't matter. I mean, on that note, like if we're being like 100% honest, like yeah, I totally did feel ignored and kind of like big time by you a little bit at the party and like in person in general, like you know what I mean, like at my birthday and stuff like that. So it's not. I mean, I don't know. I guess we both just are feeling about her. I don't know. That's just how I felt. And so I was like, okay, I'm not gonna like force it.
I think the lesson that we can learn from all of this is to use screen protectors for your phone, kids. Like this
That's
stuff
what I was about to say. It looked like just a freaking spider web just went across that
doesn't
screen.
have to happen to your phones. A
Dang.
simple screen protector, it's like $3. It can
Yeah.
protect your phone. I drop my phone literally every single
mines.
day, sometimes multiple times a day, and I've never cracked a screen. And
Yeah.
I just have like those cheap paper like screen protectors. I don't even have the glass
I'm actually
ones.
thinking
the
I might
glass
switch
ones
mine
actually
out, 'cause
break
this one, it's
faster
like-
than my
It's one of
plastic.
those like, I don't know. It's one of those ones where it's like it gets like sticky and things. I want like them like non-sticky ones.
Sticky
but-
ones get like ruined. So, okay, I'm going off on a tangent here. Bye. Gabbie's next video is going to be Confessions of a YouTube Has-Been, so stay tuned for that. Alright, you guys, that was it for today's video. If you guys liked it, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe.
Of
I post new
course.
videos every single week. All right, bye.
Yeah, I'm like, I know there's just gonna be a day where it's like, it means there's something like a reason why I'm reacting to these videos. I know there's just gonna be a day where it's like, watch, there's gonna probably be a day where it's like me and Ray when we meet up and we just sit down and talk about this stuff, and I'm gonna know what she's talking about because I feel like, I am actually friends with Ray, so. If there is a day where we meet up and things, I say me and Ray, like, we should just, we should just turn these things into spoofs. Like, there's, like, the day, I highly doubt, I don't know if Ray watches my videos or not. But anyways, I'm saying, like, if there's ever a day we meet up, let's just do a bunch of comedy skits on these things. Like, just to, like, overall and hope that they go viral. So, Gabbie Hanna, Trisha Paytas, everybody can see these videos, right? And learn something from it and things. So, but anyways, this was a pretty good video. Shout out to Ray for putting this together. Make sure you go subscribe to her main channel, Hot Tea, her personal channel, Ray Rahimi, and her business channel, Build Your Pocket. Like, subscribe to me too, and I will talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching, and peace.